Way Ari being taken away from Cool.
Yeah, very smart ban there. Do not give that man either of those champions. Gamtee banning away Cool there with both a LeBlanc and an Ari ban. OMG going to start with a Rek'Sai, so clearly respecting Gamtee's jungler, who will have to show a different champion now. The Veigar ban there as well, very standard stuff. And right now, love what both teams are doing, but Kassadin, he's got to find a ban here somewhere.
Yeah, he has to be taken away somewhere. I think the fact that they've gone with those two bans in particular means Xiaohu wants Xerath or Azir. Because being... Cool's champion pool extremely large, so to throw two bans at the one player, although both very strong on the current patch, means that they're looking for something specific in that mid lane, and Azir just makes so much sense.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what Gamtee do want to do. They could happily first pick either of those champions as well in this patch. There's the Kassadin ban actually from Gamtee on the blue side, so despite Letme's great Kassadin game last time out, they respect it enough or don't want to first pick it that they're willing to ban it here.
Yeah, and I think that's a good decision. Oh, and the Azir actually gets taken away from Xiaohu, so OMG thinking the same thing. The Xerath now sticks out like a sore thumb in regards to contested picks.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably still fine blind pick. I'm trying to think in Cool's champion pool what he could play. LeBlanc, I think, would be the most common thing, but that matchup's okay, and it's already banned out.
Yeah, exactly right. So let me actually going towards the tanky Nara in the top lane. So not going towards a carry style laner, looking to just be a little bit of a bully in that mini Nara form, but get into the team fights and make a big impact.
Yeah, makes sense as well. Ban it away, take it away, sorry, from Going might even be the thinking there, because he's a fantastic Nara player.
Yeah, he certainly is coming through. Going's team fighting ability is, we talk about he's a carry laner, he likes to dictate farm, but his team fighting ability is still terrific.
Yeah, it really is here. And these are some pretty standard picks for OMG. Actually, Sun not taking Graves, weirdly enough, wants to deny tail Corki instead, but Corki job in the first two picks for OMG.
Yeah, very ambiguous picks coming through. It means that they can potentially even play the Z mid lane if they want to, because of the fact that Corki adds a lot of that mixed damage coming through. And I like the denial away from Tail. Means that he can't 2v1 as easily if Sync Dream wants to go for a roam.
Yeah, pretty curious what Tail does want here as we drip through the draft. But we've got a few more picks to make here. Huey might default to Lee Sin now that Rek'Sai's been taken away. Rek'Sai, a very popular jungler for a lot of LPL junglers here. But Gamtee going to have to make a change here, of course, with the Rek'Sai ban.
Yeah, exactly right. So we see that it actually will be Graves and Lissandra. A lot of team fighting coming out of Gamtee here, which is brave. To say you want to take a team fighting comp into the likes of an OMG means that they're very confident in their abilities, and they've got three. Even braver is to just not pick your jungle or your support in your first three picks,
yep.
Give away your whole team comp and allow OMG the luxury of being able to counterpick every single lane they want to now.
Yeah. A bit weird to have Graves, I think, because obviously that's probably not going to get taken here away, given that they already have Corki, but they do want to lock it down. I like the Lissandra pick. She's a very strong champion. I believe Xiaohu played Lissandra in Gamtee's win against OMG, with Letme's Kassadin also going crazy. So I kind of like denying it away here, but OMG, like you said, have plenty of room, and Cool is going to do something I almost thought I'd never see him do. Maokai in the top there for Going, and Xerath in the mid lane.
Yeah, so willing to take the long-range Xerath against a very short-range Lissandra, of course. If in any situation Lissandra gets on top of that Xerath, it's going to go all kinds of horrible for Cool, but taking in a very long-range poke-heavy mage will be able to dictate pace of the lane, and I like what Sync Dream's gone towards here. The Leona makes so much sense in terms of team fighting. Leona Gnar is a terrifying frontline without even putting a jungler in the mix.
Yeah, and they might just take away again the Lee Sin for Huey. And I mean, Sync Dream's a big Leona player, is going to lock it in, and that is going to leave Lee Sin as Gamtee's fourth pick there, and of course the jungle there for Huey. And don't get me wrong about Cool Xerath, he's a fantastic Xerath player, but it's just not a big playmaking champion that we normally see Cool on.
Yeah, exactly right. That orb is deceptive in terms of picks because of the fact that it is, I guess, a Cataclysm is there to present itself a very easy target. But I agree with you, isn't something that you would expect maybe Cool to be able to jump on. He has picked up the Cleanse as well as his Summoner spell, so looking to maybe be a little bit more mobile than he other would be. And Ji Young, once again, on that Morgana. So a good team fighting comp coming out of OMG. They need to be able to keep their two carries safe here. They're very poke heavy and very focused on the magic damage, and that makes me worry about the fact that Sync Dream and Letme are just going to be these huge absorbs.
Yeah, I mean, we've got very similar, I think, spikes as far as power goes between the two teams. Lots of mid-game focus here for both of them, but as far as tank scaling up, Gamtee might just have a slight edge moving into the late game.
Yeah, they have an edge in terms of the fact that their tank does a lot more in terms of damage, but Maokai against that team with his ultimate is going to reduce a lot of the AoE coming out, so I like the fact they've gone towards that for Going.
Yeah, we're going to have the top lane matchup. We've seen this one a lot at this point, Maokai versus Gnar, and going a fantastic Maokai player as well, loves that champion here. Lee Sin versus Java, and this will be interesting to see. Huey, of course, has only played Rek'Sai so far in his game, so he's going to mix it up.
Yeah, he certainly is, and we see the mid lane matchup, Xiaohu versus Cool, the Lissandra versus Xerath. It should go in Cool's favor, but if anyone can swing a matchup, probably going to be Xiaohu. Yeah,
especially because he knows the Xerath so well as well, so that'll be a very good test there for Xiaohu in the mid side, and Seek Dream on a big engage support. No one's surprised there.
Yeah, exactly right. Absolutely no surprises coming through, and has a very good level 1, 2, and 3 coming through, so does good work with little to no levels. So
I like that we have to keep that in mind.
Always have to keep that in mind when you look at that player, because, as I said, he's got tendencies to do weird stuff.
He does like to go walk about and hang out in some other lanes here. Kind of everyone else's, but Tails, apparently.
Yeah, exactly right. Maybe he has something against him, but Tail, he's on a little bit of a different AD carry. He's gone for the Graves this time around. Will struggle a little bit in the 1v2.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. We're going to get straight onto the Rift. And welcome onto the Rift here for our last match of the evening. Gamtee versus OMG. Should be some fireworks here in this one. Some interesting stuff. We do have San back as the Corki this time around for OMG. And you mentioned here for Tail, a different AD carry for him as well. Yeah,
exactly right. Jumping onto that Graves a little bit more aggressive and maybe looking for the 2v2 matchup, because should be able to do very well in lane against a passive Corki Morgana, more looking for the poke damage than the heavy engage.
Yeah, as we see everyone just spreading out defensively here. Huey will get hit there by a banner from Loveling, and Xiong's going to move in as well, maybe look to throw down a binding. No, just the Tormented Soil actually, but gets a bit of gold from the Spell Thieves.
Yeah, exactly right. Always nice to be able to set that one up early to not have to worry about getting the gold in lane. So he's able to pick up all 3 ticks there, and we see very conservative start actually coming out from both teams.
Yeah, I imagine we will have standard lanes here as well. It's not obvious that either team really wants to look for a lane swap. I think that's great for Na, who does want farm, and Gogong, who likely wants to take the Rod of Ages into the lane as well. We've seen a lot of Maokai's getting swapped on today, and for me, my biggest takeaway was that, you know what, that kind of basically forces Maokai to go Righteous Glory.
Yeah, exactly right. You just can't get the roller quick enough to, I guess, allow for the stacking to come through for the first couple of Dragons, which hurts teams. So definitely expect him to want the solo lane. Even picks up the level 2. Sun, wow.
Yeah, he's getting face checked the brush there, gets queued there, pops the heal, and Xiong's going to move in as well. Sun also forced a flash there. Sync Dream just had the Q there. For good first stun came in, but Gamtee already won the lane.
Yeah, Gamtee could have gone a little bit more aggressive. The funny thing about flashing is that if you walk near a corner, they can flash second and make up a lot more distance than you do if you don't flash around terrain. So, wow, Sync Dream going still aggressive in that lane.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. I mean, Xiong's going to pick up a little bit of gold, but Sun is already forced back from his lane, so Taylor's going to get a big edge early on in this one.
Yeah, going to be able to, I guess, build the wave up as well and force Sun into a tough decision of how he farms under this turret. Still hasn't completed the recall, actually, so only just getting back now.
Yeah, nice to see Cool actually getting aggressive in this lane as well, using the Q to really poke down Xiaohu, though Xiaohu does hit level 2 earlier.
Yeah, has to burn a potion already, and Cool using that Q just to try and look for harass, not really even using it to push out the lane. Happy for it to be neutral.
Yeah, going to use his autos there as well, make sure he gets some mana back. And Cool, again, if anyone's going to take practically any champion into the mid lane and make it look good, it's this player.
Yeah, exactly right. And wow, it lands both the abilities in the combo. Still doing a lot of damage this early in the game, and that mid lane's starting to, I guess, hurt a lot.
Yeah, I actually love what Cool's doing in general with where he's sitting in the lane, because he's making sure that he basically never stands behind minions, but staying aggressive to kind of bait the Sunder with a short range.
Yeah, as we have another engage in the bottom.
Sun actually in trouble. They're going to take the Zenith Blade and the Buckshot, and Tail doing so much damage. Xiong answers with a binding, a bomb in there as well, but Sun might be forced out again.
Yeah, has got an extra potion this time round, so we'll be able to maybe stay for this lane, but the dive is a real possibility.
Yeah, and already look at the early CS. It's 14-2 right now for this bottom lane of Gamtee.
Yeah, so we see, ooh, as a Buckshot also clipping him in the background. We'll be able to pick up a lot of this under turret with some assistance from Xiong. So only 6 CFs is a discrepancy, but more importantly, the early levels, the fact, the mentality of it, what it takes to be bullied twice, once out of lane, then once as soon as you return. Tail and Sync Dream playing this lane very nicely.
Yeah, and these are both fairly aggressive AD carries as well between Corki and Graves, so the fact that Tail's going to get any sort of edge in this lane at all is a big up for him.
Yeah, but maybe a more, ooh, as thought he might actually choose to go aggressive. Maybe just looking for an early shot is Zhao, who might keep Sync Dream in lane a little bit longer than normally, you know, because of the fact that they are winning the lane so much in the bottom. Might not want to go for a little bit of a roam.
That's true. I mean, it also frees him up as well. So lots of good choices coming through for Gamtee with the early landing in the bottom. But Sun is catching up now as well, looking a little bit better as he picks up more and more CS.
Yeah, so looking like he is in a little bit of a favorable position, was able to push out that wave in the bottom lane. So he looks completely fine.
Gets it frozen though, unfortunately. So Tail and Sync Dream might be able to deny a little bit more CS.
Ooh, just missing the engage. That will push the wave out again.
Yeah, and again, they'll just keep farming back and forth. Tail is getting an edge, of course, as they kind of freeze back CS, but Sun is going to be able to pick up 2, does get there with the fast bomb as well. And as long as he plays safe, Sun is kind of used to this situation. Like, he's not a bad player again by any stretch, but he's sort of used to having lanes sometimes go wrong.
Yeah, and you saw the aggressive show from Lee Sin, which allowed Tail to go a little bit more aggressively in that bottom lane. And that really is the saving grace at the moment, because all the other lanes very equal for the side of Gamtee, and you would think that if this game went equal through to the finish, a little bit better scaling potentially. The exception, what it comes down to me is how the top lane is really executed in the team fights. I'd like to say that Jarvan is a little bit better than Lee Sin in the late game, just as far as jungle picks goes. Adds a lot more than what Lee Sin does, who really is relying on that ultimate to make plays.
But still room, of course. Like, just in general, I mean, Nara's a big playmaking champion. We've seen it from Kroran going, but haven't seen his Nara in quite a while.
Yeah, very good point coming through there. And we see the bully continues in the bottom lane with Tail really chunking out Sun again. Does take a turret shot in response for a little bit of return damage. And Sun will be able to pick up every CS under that, so he's still staying within the 5 CS margin.
Yeah, Xiang doing a very nice job helping him last hit under turret there as well. As Huey will move in through the jungle now as well. Does have his Rangers Trailblazer already built up, and is going to take away his camps here, see what he can see. And again, both Jarvan and Lee Sin actually taking a fairly farm-heavy approach to the early game.
Yeah, it certainly looks like they don't want to get in and impact the lane. You'd think that that goes in Lee Sin's favor just because of the fact that Jarvan is so good.
Oh,
wow.
Sun down the bottom. Sync Dream goes right in. The Tail actually flashes forward. The Ignite was ticking. Xiang getting low. Bit of gold there back to Tail and a bit of health as well, and can't quite finish the kill.
Yeah, just surviving there. Was a very aggressive play from Tail to use his flash, especially because the junglers are going to be towards that level 6 relatively soon, and the last thing you want is to have to force to brawl Loveling in his Cataclysm, but will of course have that quick draw to get out of range.
I mean, it's still dangerous here, and Tail's actually staying longer here as well, trying to get some tower damage, so very aggressive play by Gamtee's AD carry.
Yeah, wants to be able to pick up probably that BF and is maybe one wave away from being able to do so, so just sticking around for a little bit of extra greed, being able to push that one out.
And you know, if he does go back for the BF here, Sun returning to his lane, only has the part to his fate, hasn't even finished the item yet. What kind of advantage has Tail developed for himself here?
Yeah, that is an absolute massive advantage, being able to take all that raw damage, especially on someone that scales with AD the way Graves does, just because of the buckshot and the ultimate that comes through. Throw in the fact that all the magic damage comes through from Leona at level 6 as well because of those sunlight procs. Very dangerous lane now to not have a summoner spell here.
Yeah, Xiaohui there as well in the mid, cleaning waves up very nicely. Looks like Fiendish Codex was the first buy, and Cool will return to lane as well. Fiendish Codex, Aether Wisp there for him. Sorry, actually no, that's a Forbidden Idol, never mind, but building into an early Morello Nomicon.
Yeah, it looks like Morello Nomicon coming through. Very standard item at the moment. We've seen Athene's maybe get a little bit more popular as we actually have a good roam coming up from Xiang, looking to maybe pick on Xiaohu.
Might catch him in transition. The ward's down, the binding hits their Loveling in a move in as well. A great ulti there from Cool. Xiaohu, a perfect ulti to protect himself, but Xiang gonna move back in. The ulti's come in, but Sync Dream's here as well. Xiaohu somehow survives, and Cool just misses the stun onto Leona.
That was an incredible setup coming through from OMG, but just lacking at a tiny bit of damage. What a roam coming through from Xiang there. That's what we were expecting, a little bit of, I guess, something a little bit different. Actually beating Sync Dream to the punch in terms of roaming, and this might actually mean they're able to pick up a first dragon.
I mean, they might even rotate. They're looking around the area at least as Sync Dream and Huey clean out the minions out from under the tower. Xiang, though, is just going to return instead. Looks like Cool might even get his blue buff now, and that Loveling will donate it over. So a good ult there from Jai to protect himself, but a very nice attempt there. OMG almost robbed there not to get the first blood.
Yeah, that was extremely close. Good heads-up play to be able to use that E as well as a flash to get out of there. So you have to give Xiaohu a lot of credit for being able to survive the situation, but as you said, if someone sneezed on him, he would have probably died after that exchange.
Yeah, so a cool setup there, but no first blood given by either team at this point. Gamtee actually have a very slight gold lead.
Yeah, just slight. It's in that bottom lane, about 10 CS coming through, and you think now with the level 6 being reached on tail, it's a matter of time before Sync Dream is able to pick that one up, and they must go aggressive.
Yeah, the all-in's very potent here if they can lock down either Morgana or Corki. Of course, Morgana's Black Shield makes it tricky, and the Valkyrie from Corki does as well, but especially if they hit 6 first, we could see a very strong all-in. They just hit it, so Sync Dream going to get aggressive maybe.
Yeah, looking to see if he can get in there. There he goes.
Yes, the Interfade lands in Xiang there with a very good Black Shield, and Gamtee can wait out the cooldown and look to go again.
Yeah, all they have to do now is throw out the ultimate, and it forces Xiang to flash, and he's gone back so far now. Wants absolutely nothing to do with that Leona level 6.
Yeah, in fact, going back so far, Xiang's gone home on this Morgana. Does not want to deal with this, and Sync Dream posturing aggressively. Might even try and freeze the wave a bit. Actually, no, they want to push. Going to pop the W and get it down. Tail and Sync Dream going to try and push their advantage even more.
Yeah, looks like they want to start the Dragon up because they recognize the support player had gone back. Actually using the teleport into the top lane simultaneously. That might leave a bit of a window to be able to challenge, but nope. Gamtee going to be able to pick up first Dragon.
Yeah, can't get there in time. Very nice rotation there for Gamtee. So smart for Tail and Sync Dream to say, you know what, we got pressure, they're forced out of lane, let's get the Dragon.
Yeah, really good heads-up play. Gives the rest of the team an advantage because it's only 400 gold from what they've been able to do, which is a very heavy bully lane. But the first Dragon is definitely something of note to be able to do, especially on someone like Graves who likes to build all that raw AD and scales so well with it.
Yeah, nice tangible advantage there coming through for Gamtee, and they take the first big win in this game here. Big one there, just narrowly zips past Tail's head as Xiang goes in, collecting more good on the Spell Thieves. And we mentioned the roam earlier, he's actually gone for very fast Moby Boots.
Yeah, so picking that up even before a Sightstone, relying on the fact that Hui hasn't looked like he wants to gank very much at this point in the game. So why not? Why not go for something that maybe can get the rest of your team in a favorable position?
Yeah, both junglers actually have played very safe, with the exception, I guess, of Lovely and Cool and Xiang trying to pick up the enemy jungler, or the mid laner there, sorry, before in transition for the blue buff. But now Huey might try and get frisky. Does take Cool, the ulti comes in, and that's an immediate flash by Xerath.
Yeah, and that's, ooh.
Ulti comes in, last ball coming through, does hit him, and first blood goes to Cool. Xiang gonna find Sync Dream, has actually popped the ulti. Sync Dream forced to flash away as well, and OMG claimed the first kill.
Yeah, that is completely devastating. We thought that Xiaohu might be able to eke an advantage out in that lane, but Cool now with that first blood in very bad situation.
Loveling has come up through the lane. Here you go, going, locking down Let Me. The dunk moves in for Jarvan, and Loveling says, thanks, mate, I'll take it.
Kill secured coming through from Loveling. Using the ultimate as well. Going, set that up very nicely, and had actually previously forced the Gnar back and had to make him use a teleport. They'll pick up a massive creep wave here and shove it into the turret. Givko going another free back without having to use his TP in response. Very good news for the top laner.
Yeah, and again, we talked about the junglers not getting too aggressive, but finally making it matter when they get level 6. Huey's actually very aggressively farming his jungle at this point compared to Loveling, but Loveling's put on just a bit more pressure.
Yeah, and that's the difference between the Trailblazer towards the Chilling Smite. Just allows you to get through the camps a little bit quicker. Especially when you have that Lee Sin E, which just clears out the little camps very, very well. So Huey done a good job so far to farm up the jungle, but giving over that first blood towards the Xerath is going to, I guess, hurt his team. Yeah, you can see some early aggression coming through as well for the item choices as Xiaohu and Huey team up for the Scuttle Crab. They will take it away, but Cool has already gotten his Morellonomicon and his Sorcerer Shoes finished. Yeah, and that is a huge spike for this Xerath. A lot of the mana regen that he needs to continually be able to shove out the wave, and then the flat penetration as they actually steal away the third blue buff on the side of Gamtee. Yeah, almost got the kill onto Xiaohu in transition for the second one, and going to take the third one away now as well. So very good pressure in the center and top side of the map here. And you know what? Leaving Sun to his own devices, he's just fine, even though he's 20 CS behind. Yeah, but he is about to be dove by 4 members. Well, maybe not fine anymore. The ulti almost nails him. A very good flash by Sun gets him out, but Gamtee might be able to get a tower now. Yeah, and that was reminiscent of how OMG used to play, just teaming up as 4 and shoving down a lane with the Graves, being able to push that one in. That's the first turret, but in response, good move from OMG here. They're looking towards the mid lane, which is the most important objective on the map at this point in the game. That's going to fall.
Certainly as far as OMG are concerned, that's true, and they'll take it here, clean out a nice big chunk of space in the middle of the map, and again, it's been very classic OMG in the top side. Loveling's playing very well.
Yeah, he certainly has been able to put on pressure where it matters. Has also been able to upgrade his jungle item, so you cannot underestimate the damage that is coming through from Jarvan at this point in the game. And Going has just continued to bully in this top lane. That top turret is very low.
Yeah, he's actually taken it to about 40% health here and Going on a pretty good pace for a Rod of Ages, I was about to say, but actually has a Kindle gem in his inventory.
Yeah, so it looks like he wants to go that tanky route, and what that means is it's just going to accelerate how quickly this Maokai gets into a position to be able to deal with the Graves. Looks like he's going for a little bit of MR as a first item, but after that, we'll probably transition into something like a Warden's Mail.
Yeah, we'll see here. Sync Dream might have been caught out. Huey going to dash out of the jungle as well. Xiang moving in, trying to find a binding, but does not connect. And we should clear out the Scuttle Crab here. And Gamtee trying to make some moves around, but OMG just beating him to the punch. And Tail, though, will take away his own red buff. He actually has Infinity Edge done now on Graves.
Yeah, so he's in a much better position than Korku, who's going back with about 2,800 gold. So we'll be able to pick up most of the components, actually all the components.
Yeah, should be done with the item fairly soon as well. But Sun, not quite there with the Trinity Force. And given that Dragon's actually back in a minute 15, that's quite a big deal. A steal here as well, coming in there out onto the red buff. And Huey going to claim that one.
Yeah, so Huey able to pick up a red buff whilst his blue was taken away, and the rotation into the top lane.
Yeah, Freight Train's coming here. Loveling and Going have to be careful. Xiao moving a great gnaw there onto Let Me, but Going gets locked up by the ulti after Loveling flashes out. Maokai is going to go down there. Xiao claims the kill.
Yeah, so a response kill. That's a very nice play coming out. A lot of pressure on the top side of the map, though, although OMG has rotated up to match them. So this time, not opting to take an objective somewhere else, looking to fight fire with fire, and it eventuates to nothing.
Yeah, not an easy objective for them to take, I guess, and they just kind of scatter off the map, not looking for anything. Dragon up in 30 seconds now, so Going will be available for it when it comes up. At Gamtee set themselves up another great 4-man kill.
Yeah, and that's meant that the needlessly large rod has come out for this Lissandra, and that's a very nice place to be in just before a dragon fight, especially if they can deny the Trinity Force from this Corki.
Yeah, almost everyone has spent their gold. Junglers actually haven't yet before this next dragon, so lots of strength coming in here with the flat stats. Tail actually going back early here as Gamtee will look to likely set up for their second dragon.
Yeah, it goes back just to pick up a dagger and a couple of potions there, so looking to, I guess, eke out every advantage possible at this point. Dragon has respawned. No team has any vision over it whatsoever, but Zhiyong, the first support down there, looking to set it up.
Yeah, Loveling there as well. Xiang does have a sight set, and OMG are going to get on top of this next dragon here as well. Gamtee maybe a bit mistiming on the backstand, not going to be able to contest it, looks like.
Yeah, and Zhao, who's surprisingly nowhere near it, so that will fall in their favor.
Yeah, even roaming up the top, maybe Gamtee decided to give it up, but OMG going to be very happy to claim an easy dragon.
Yeah, that was a strange decision to rotate Zhao, who, when they didn't actually even commit to the top lane turret dive. So overall, without even the ultimate on the Gnar, probably was going to be fruitless, but Going just dictating so much respect in this lane.
Yeah, has already drawn multiple people up there. Down the bottom as well, of course, the tower goes down, but San has just kept it safe, pushed it back in here. Tail will clean out the CS, but Corki should have his Trinity Force. Now we might see a rotation of the Corki moving into some of these other lanes and trying to take down some turrets.
Yeah, well, now they have the Xerath and Corki together, especially with where Xerath is. They can put them in generally any lane they want, and it is very hard for Gamtee to be able to withstand the poke that's coming through. And you see that they're moving cool towards the top lane, although he is spotted out by a Warden. At this point in the game, OMG just have more tools in their team fight. They're not yet tanky enough on Gamtee's line. Wow.
Good ulti there coming through. Cool immediately cleanses out. Shahuda comes in, tries to ult Xiang, but the Black Shield was just there for a second too long.
Yeah, just the end of the Black Shield, able to, I guess, stop that one coming through. And that's a very... cool blew both summoner spells, I believe, to get away from that, so that's good being able to pick it up. But they're two very key team fighting ultimates down, which now give OMG the advantage around the map with the poke comp they've put it together. San still in that bottom lane. Uzi Reminiscent just split pushing till your heart's content. He'll be able to pick up a turret.
Yeah, I mean, Loveling even posturing for a blue as well. So much action on the top side that Corki's free to be here. That blue almost gets stolen away. Good damage there by Cool from the ulti. Does actually go to Huey though, so at least denies it from Xiaohu.
Yeah, and that's just as good from Cool's perspective, not being able to be pushed back into because of the fact that Lissandra is so mana intensive if she spams those spells.
Yeah, and Loveling actually grouping with Cool. OMG trying to defend the turret in the top side. Bottom tower does go down as well as Cool. Able to take that out 1v1 versus Let Me's now. Ward's going to get cleared out as well. And these last few outer turrets are getting defended very valiantly.
They certainly are, but they need to be careful because the teleport is in the bottom lane, whereas San doesn't have that. So if a team fight starts at this point, Let Me going to be able to join, and San will be forced to walk across the map. So you can see he's grouped in the mid lane now with Xerath. That really is the combo that I'm looking for them to pull together because of how strong their poke is.
Going a bit aggressive. They're actually going to get Zenith bladed up. Pops the ulti though before it happens. Tail firing away in and actually going. Going to turn it around because he knows Jarvan's coming in. The teleport moves in his own. Loveling's going to try and line it up. Tail has to juke in. A good ulti moving in. A good double knockup. And San's here as well. OMG beat them to the punch. But Xiaohu coming around the back there as well. Looking for going, but can't quite find him.
Yeah, and Xerath now rotating into the top lane. All 5 members from both sides. Looks like it will be the turret for Gamtee, but no team fight eventuating.
Big party in the top lane here. Let Me gonna get poked out as well. Good damage there from Sans Corki with the Trinity Force, but Megan almost do. Going actually recalled and ported back now as well. Will come into a smoke screen, so can't really find it. Even at the home guard as well. Tail might get poked out. Dodges the second bolt though to save his life, but Let Me getting locked up. Bounces out of the cataclysm. OMG throwing everything at GT.
This is a really dangerous dive if they stick around. No, Gamtee opt to give it up. Just because of the fact that if you ever have a Gnar transformed and a Lissandra anywhere near each other, that's CCs for days.
Yeah, there's even a turret just to whack him into it as well, so lots of danger. But OMG, they've started the 5-man push and they are not stopping.
Yeah, it looks like they're continuing down into this lane. Nice bind.
He actually does catch it. Let Me gonna get low and does go down there to Sun. Very nice skill shot from Xiang.
Yeah, so fantastic play out of OMG, sticking with this one, even opting to tank it up. And 1 turret was taken, but 2 in quick response.
Yep, the Corki Trinity Force coming up massive there in that push. Get 2 turrets for themselves. 4-2 now as far as that objective goes. And Gamtee, their mid-game power from this Lissandra slipping a little there in the last few exchanges.
Yeah, and really needs to wait for that Zhonya's Hourglass now as Xiaohu might be even in some more trouble.
Yeah, Xiang actually moving in. Xiaohu's going to have to find a good way to go. The binding comes out, but Xiaohu manages to dodge it away. No one from OMG close enough, and Lissandra will live this time. In fact, Xiang in a face check this time. Another good black shield does get locked up. Going to move in as well. That's going to force the flash from Xiang, but Xiaohu again combo into Morgana and no kill forthcoming.
Yeah, and once again into a very clutch black shield coming through. So very nice play out of the support player, Xiang. Does burn his flash to get out of that one. But overall, concentrating on the AD carry, this is such a San game. Got behind early, was patient, willing to build it back, hasn't really dictated much, stayed in the bottom lane longer than we might have expected, but he's only 10 CS down now, and this is Corki's part of the game. He's going back on 2,500 gold. We'll probably work towards that Bloodthirster and the Sork Boots, and he's at the point now where he is a very definite force to be reckoned with.
Well, does have the Sork Boots, but actually going for even more cost-efficient, kind of a Sun-esque build here, because he's going for Last Whisper second. In fact, he's done with it.
Picked up the Last Whisper, so able to get through a lot of what Let Me will be bringing to the fights in form of armor, I guess. Probably not the best Corki item, but a very San build, as you said.
It's one of those things where, this is the thing I feel like with Void and Last Whisper, where you likely always want them in your build somewhere. So if you can pick them up, that is so cost efficient that yes, it's not optimal right now, but you want it eventually that you might as well pick it up.
Yeah, it certainly does appear to be that way. It has to, I guess you also have to look at what boots Corki goes for. Some Corkis do go auto attack builds, and then the Last Whisper does come up huge for them just because of the fact that he is a very good AD carry in his own right. Trinity Force IE is like the premium build of AD carry, so if you get a Phantom Dancer on top of that, that's just so much damage.
Yeah, and I just realized Sun actually undid his Sork Shoes to finish the Last Whisper, so wants power right now, and OMG, they're grouping as 5 very consistently.
Yeah, and it might even be for this Dragon fight, being able to take another one away. We speak about Leona Graves, that's so much mid-game power, especially at the level 11 point. But at this moment, with the builds that OMG have gone for, especially that Death Cap and Last Whisper, they're at a premium right now for damage.
Yeah, Sun here chunking out the Dragon. It's actually on 50% health or so. Going to reset a little bit here. OMG have a Pink Ward actually under it, and I believe control the Scuttle Crab, although he just dies and will respawn soon. So OMG looking for something here, but the Pink Ward is going to get cleaned out. Yes, does go down there as Graves able to pick up the last hit on it, and a battle for vision now as they contest for the 3rd overall dragon.
Yeah, and very smart play out of Cool walking towards the mid lane. He wants to shove that one out to give as much vision and pressure as he can. Now they walk in, clean out vision one more time, and they've got complete control over the area.
Yeah, we talk about 2-item power spikes. Have to mention Cool's Rabadons that he just finished here as well. Might look for it. He's got the Naba very well filled here.
It's poked out a little bit. They need to start it up soon if they want to go. There
they
it
are
is.
going to go in. Let me bounce in there. The dragon does go down to Loveling, and everyone's going in, but Xiaohu just getting destroyed by Cool's poke. The ulti moving in as well. Xiaohu gets sniped there. Loveling going to go down as well, as they are going to trade kills back and forth. Let me 3-man Nara to the wall. Young getting low there as well, but San going to clean through people. There's the double kill for Corki. Tail going to go down as well, make it a triple. Seek Dream might be the 4th here for the Quadra. Does get stolen by Xiang though, but the ace does get finished.
And what a team fight out of OMG. Supreme patient, peeling off the dragon when they need to, and then Cool chunking out Xiaohu to the point where he couldn't even ult in that team fight. That is such an important ability that just didn't get used. They'll pick themselves up another blue buff for their troubles, and that's a 5,000 gold lead out of nowhere. Let's take a look at it again. Let me engage us very aggressively, but look at the chunk that comes through. Able to nail Xiaohu very early in that fight, and just didn't get a chance to ultimate him. From there, it was all about San coming up absolutely massive on the back. Just not enough threats to be able to take him out. Able to pick up the triple here, and probably unlucky it wasn't a quadra.
Yeah, got it stolen away there from Jungler. Tormented Soil, actually, I think, maybe with a binding in there as well, taking it away, but he'll take it. He's got a Bloodthirster coming up now as well as his 3rd item, and that's come up very quickly.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, we were talking about how he just spent maximum gold to pick up his build, so off that fight alone, 1,500 gold coming through for the AD carry player, and they're going to be probably 2 for 2 after this game with San, and he's making a serious case here.
He is, and to highlight as well, Going did such a good job of tanking in that team fight. And look at the builds from OMG, all mid-game focus. No Rotovators for Going, pure tank stats for that big fight.
Yeah, and a lot of it is about controlling specific aspects of the fight. As
Yes, San gets ulted up there by Xiaohu. Tail coming in as well with the ulti. Huey going to dive in on top with the Lee Sin, and that's enough for a kill. Cool trying to kite his way away there. Zenith Blade moving in as Synctrum does get eaten there by Cool, but he gets kicked back there after the flash from Huey, and that's a 2 for 1.
Yeah, very nice start of a team fight coming out of Xiaohu this time round, and in the response, they might be able to even pick up the mid lane turret, so just when they look like they're starting to slip in this game, very good fight.
Yeah, Xiaohu finally finding a good setup there with his Lissandra ulti. That's actually going to be 2 turrets here being taken at OMG. Can't defend with the wave clear dead, and that's a big thing to point out. When Cool dies, the OMG wave clear drops to almost 0.
Yeah, exactly right. Cool and Sana 100% of the wave clear coming through, especially because the roll wasn't picked up. But if we go back to the builds coming out of OMG, they're all very specific. You see the double sightstone to be able to control the area they want to fight in. Then the fact that they're relying on Cool to blow up where Xiaohu paths to, and going to deal with Tail. So he's gone the armor route, whilst Cool's gone all of that flat damage to just be able to blow up this Lissandra, who isn't tanky at all at this point.
Yeah, and Loveling knows what his job is. Died valiantly in the last team fight. Just going to stack pure health here after his sights, and probably looking for a Warmogs.
Yeah, it would not be surprised with the amount of mixed damage that comes through if that is the case. And over the board, you have to say that they hit their stride very well, but a slight slip up there in the jungle did cost them about 4,000 gold.
Yeah, getting caught with all the Xiaohu burst really cost poor San there. And their Abyssal Scepter actually coming through for Gamtee's builds. They're in the mid lane. Locket already done for Lee Sin, so Huey looking good to check off a lot of Cool's damage. And Let Me actually going to dive in onto Going there. Hops right on top of his face. San has to be a bit careful. Let Me still chasing, and Xiaohu's there as well. A great scoop back there. Going does get ulted up as well. Tail's going to move in. The freight train is here. Flashes out of the way, but gets stunned up, and Xiaohu claims another kill.
And that is the tankiest member, and he got Mikhail's throughout that. Just was not able to get out of the way of how much CC is being bought from this Gamtee lineup. And we spoke about Lissandra and Nah. Nah didn't even have a wall there, still got it.
Yeah, actually Tail in trouble. Loveling's found him out there. Cool. Gonna try and snipe him. San actually gets the kill, gets kicked out. Will Loveling, although Huey does get trapped in the Cataclysm, and a good answering kill by OMG.
Yeah, a little bit of an overstay. When you use all your ultimates to take out the tank, you have to remember there's still all of that damage, and the fact that Loveling has picked up all of that flat health was a little bit harder to kill than Gamtee realized.
Yeah, and Loveling dove in there, set up for Cool, and Cool didn't even need to use his ultimate there to get the kill onto Tail. So Tail's very strong. He's almost at his 3rd build here with Last Whisper coming in very swiftly. He's already got the PDIE as well. Going, teleporting around there, diving poor Huey. There, does get locked up, binding lands instantly. Loveling with a knock-up, and that's the alley-oop.
Yeah, that's a very nice teleport game coming through from Loveling. Might even spell the end of a mid lane turret with the poke that comes off this team. Would not be surprised if they can siege up very successfully.
And this is what OMG wanted. Singju might get sniped away here. Last bolt going to come in. Actually, it's Xiaohu, knowing that he won't get the kill. Just wants more Poco going. Diving, let me use not that tanky in mini enough form. But Shan immediately Valkyrie's out from under Xiaohu's Lissandra, though.
Yeah, that was absolutely petrifying. But regardless, they pick up the turret. And they're sticking around for the inhibitor.
Yeah, you talked about it already, Spawn. The poke coming out of OMG's comp looks so good in this exchange.
Yeah, it certainly does. Key ultimate's still down in that solar flare, and Xiaohu being caught.
Yeah, good going. Finds him again. The cool almost finds the Q there, but it just misses Xiaohu after he gets out of the way. Singjun, though, going to get aggressed on by San, who's going very deep with the Corki. Gets it now, and Huey is going to land the Q back in there. Let me in the back, but he gets shredded down and killed by Xiang's Ignite. And OMG keep getting pick after pick. Cool! Flash Q's there to kill Xiaohu. Tail going to get stunned up here as well. OMG firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and that might even be the game. They've got the minion wave there. The inhibitor is going to go down, and that's the difference between a Maokai and a Na. Na didn't transform, didn't have all that CC available, whereas Going, when he teleported, didn't have to go through anything, was able to get all the lockdown CC, and what a mid-game out of OMG.
Yeah, Shades, such a strong game here. They might even finish it, like you said. Huey just going to get chunked out there by all of Cool's damage. Lives a little while longer, but San takes him out. Syncdream going to go down as well. There's the double for San, padding a 9-1-4 scoreline here. The Nexus exposed. Let Me will bounce in on top of them. Syncdream actually got Cool, I think, with an Ignite, so they might have to back off here. Let Me has to be careful as well. Do actually find a binding, but don't follow in. And OMG almost win, but can't quite get it on here. Let Me going in forward. He actually really wants this kill, it seems like. Actually does get the hyper. Brockton to go going. A good binding, though, should spell the end of that. Although House comes in. Sorry, Rock comes in there. Going black shielded, though. And they'll finally get away.
Yeah, it looks like Let Me just is trying to force because he realizes that if he doesn't, they've given up their whole base for absolutely nothing. So if they don't get a Baron off this, the game is completely in OMG's control because of how far those minion waves will push in. So they're going all for broke, throwing in on the Baron.
Loveling's ready, though. He's got Home Guard boots and he's tearing towards the Baron with Going. GT doing a lot of damage with Tail here already. Taking out the Baron. It should go down here, although they actually do have to move their smite in fairly quickly. Loveling and Huey racing to the objective. Huey's going to get there first, and that's a good Baron for Gamtee.
Yeah, fantastic pickup for Gamtee. Not even willing to stick around for the crab. They need to get back to that base. They will give up a dragon for it, but overall, that's the probably best situation they could have hoped for, given what they put themselves into.
Yeah, so third dragon going to come through for OMG, and you have to think that a big shove in towards the mid lane might be next here as well. There is not a lot of Gamtee's base left here in this game.
Yeah, but the one thing Gamtee do have is wave control in the top lane, so San's going to have to go out and deal with that one. And in a pure push for push, the Baroned up minions actually beat the super minions, so they will be fine as long as that Baron buff is alive.
Yeah, so they've got a couple minutes of time here. You think they've bought themselves. Dragon does go down there. Cool actually going to claim the kill on that one, but the third crucial Dragon there for OMG as Sun continues to push out waves in the top lane.
Yeah, some important thresholds have been reached on Gamtee's lineup as well. The Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper, and Infinity Edge are done for their AD carry, as well as the fact that those Abyssal Scepter as well as the Zhonya's Hourglass. So that's very important. Xiaohu needs to survive in these teamfights if Gamtee have any chance of winning. And whilst the game was thrown very heavily in OMG's favor, they were probably about 5 seconds away from winning it. You have to say, with a team fighting comp like the one Gamtee has put together, if they can survive throughout this game, they're always going to be within a shot.
Yeah, and OMG, 7,500 gold, a very strong lead, but certainly not the end of the game so far. And Gamtee, like you mentioned, are still powering up. Zhao, who almost has a Void Staff now as well to tack on to what's a very strong item build. He might even have enough to go back and finish it as he does recall. No, not quite yet, just going to be an app zone probably, or whatever he does want to pick up as his next item. But people getting stronger here for Gamtee.
Yeah, so they're starting to get into their groove. It's really Let Me that's probably not where he wants to be. You look at Let Me versus Going at the moment, full item in the lead for Going. When you compare something like a Spirit Visage to only that Hex Drinker, Maokai just going to be doing his job so well, and if he gets level 16 before the next fight, that ultimate is going to be difficult to deal with.
Yeah, Loveling here even going to take away the Grump as well. OMG trying to push where Gamtee aren't, of course, because of the Baron buff, which is smart. Cool also has another need to see large rod, so he is chunking down the waves almost by himself at this point. San also QSS done and a pickaxe finished as well.
Yeah, and I like the decision out of Cool to continue to be aggressive because he really does have to kill Xiaohu before he gets into the fight. And you see the poke damage coming through. He is so safe because of his front line that doesn't have to worry.
Yeah, let me actually bounding in there. Xiaohu looking forward as well. The ulti moved in for Sync Dream, so blew a lot of cooldowns. There are nothing to come of it yet.
Yeah, you can see that they're trying to force anything. They really want it so it doesn't get to a siege situation where Xerath is going to just completely take over. So they're looking for flanks. They're looking for the ability to start the fight, but without that solar flare, it's going to be so difficult.
Sun's Bloodthirster very handy as well as he does good damage to the top side turret as well. Cool actually just going to use his ultimate poke. Tail gets caught, going good on top of him. Beautiful setup there for the kill. Loveling even in the back, diving in, now going. Finding Sync Dream, Yakshi Young there actually gets the kill onto Lissandra. Sun diving in behind the turret, locks up two with the Cataclysm as well. Huey trying to get up there. Loveling going to chase him, going gets him there as well. Lemmy going to get bound up, and OMG have done it.
Yeah, OMG able to pick up another clean ace, 9-1 and 9 out of Sun after an extremely rough early game, comes up with the absolute goods. And OMG, that was a very impressive performance.
It really was here. I mean, just really solid across the board. I have to say, Cool, he's had a couple of shaky games so far in the LPL, especially recently, but that was Cool through and through. A massive carry for him.
Yeah, it certainly was, and fantastic control exerted over the whole map. Really used that to the full extent. 4-0 on 13 on Shi Young. You have to say he really dictated the flow of the game along with Loveling, willing to pair up in the early game, try and force around the map, and probably can't fault the way OMG played that game after maybe the bottom lane didn't go the way they expected, but everything else fell into place.
Yeah, you know, nothing too crazy from OMG. Not like a ton of fun being demanded by people. Cool, of course, taking a lot of it, but Sun, a very viable secondary carry for this team. Going played very solid. Actually played selflessly almost here with his build. Just a pure tank, 1, 2, and 17. Almost another big support.
Yeah, exactly right. He definitely was willing to dive in there for his team. Had a lot of cooldown reduction, so that Twisted Advance was doing work towards the later stage of the game with that percentage health damage, but he won lane against a Gnar, which just shouldn't happen, was able to get in there, bully him out, had the turret down to about 40% health in a disadvantaged lane. He definitely played well in his own right, and as I said, across the board, can't really fault anything OMG bought.
No, I mean, OMG certainly won 2 of their 3 lanes. I think the bottom lane went horribly wrong, I'd say, in the early stages at least for them, but, you know, picked themselves back up, managed to kind of get back on, and for me, the most impressive thing wasn't just that OMG clearly outclassed their opponents in some areas. Gamtee is still very good, but when they won, they just looked so good when they all came together. The coordination is still there for this team.
Yeah, what impressed me was how far they were willing to force with the advantages they got. They looked like they eked a tiny advantage, then took the whole base out of Gamtee and forced them into 3 poor decisions in a row, completely out-mind game Gamtee, and that has to play on the next game, because if you get destroyed like that in just about a 3-minute window and completely lost the game, that's hard to come back from.
Yeah, shades of 2013 OMG. Diving turrets like it's going out of style. A very strong performance, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this quick break for more Gamtee versus OMG action.